Welcome to my channel. I'm Christina, and in this video I will teach you how to do grafting or a Kitchener stitch for bind-off. The Kitchener stitch bind-off, also known as grafting, is a technique used to seamlessly join two live edges of the knitting, creating an invisible seam. This technique is often used to close the toes of socks, the crown of a hat, or attach a new piece of knitting to an existing piece. It is more complex than other bind-off methods, but once you master it, you will create a variety of professional-looking and durable finished pieces. Kitchener stitch for bind-off, or sometimes we name it as grafting, you will need a finished piece of work lying front towards you. You will need a tapestry needle. Make sure all the stitch count are the same on the both needles. In my case it's 14-14, and please pay attention how the stitches are aligned on the needle. I'm knitting continental style, so my right leg is in front and left leg behind the needle. The same is on the other side. So lie it flat so your foot will be comfortable. In my case, I will demonstrate with contrasting color, but usually you see you leave the yarn tail 4 times the length of the finished length you want to join. You use the same yarn tail, but for demonstration purpose I will just join the other color yarn. First is the setup. Now the front needle. We take our working yarn and we put purlwise into the first stitch from the front needle. Okay. Now we can drop off the stitch because it's secured once, so we will not lose it. Now we move onto the back needle, and from there we move purlwise first stitch of the back needle. Okay, you can also drop off the stitch, it will not be lost. So this is our setup. Now the steps will be repeated. We will work by 2 stitches, recreating the knit stitch. As you see, we come back to the previous stitch and we put from the top to back, and we go into the next stitch purlwise. Okay, now we can drop this stitch, it's secured once. Okay, now we go back again to this stitch where we went once, and we go from the top to bottom again, and we grab the next stitch from the back needle as to knit. Okay, we can drop off the stitch, and you see what we already have. We recreate the knit loop stitches, and we will be working in the same way all around. You see, now we need to move back to the front stitch. This stitch we worked once from bottom to top. Now we need to go from top. Make sure you don't twist the stitches, and we go first time again into the next stitch purlwise. In the beginning, try not to tighten up those stitches. You can do it 3-4 stitches later. I usually do it so I don't lose the stitches where I need to attach the sides. Now I go back to the back needle, and you need to find exactly the stitch, and go again previous stitch from top to bottom and knit twice into the next stitch. Okay. You always go 2 times in the same stitch by joining the next stitch from the needle. So now I go again top to bottom and purlwise into the next. And now I move back onto the back needle, and again I tried to find this previous stitch we worked in once, and we go from the top and go knitwise into the next. Now it looks like this, you see. We created these stitches and we go 2 times into the same stitch. One, we join the right side of the legs, and the second we sort of join the next sides. And after a few stitches, to maintain the tension and look even with the ready garment, we can just gently pull out and make it even. So it looks solid. And we continue. Now the yarn is at the back, we have to move, but always through the top, okay? So the working yarn is on top, and we go again from the top to bottom by grabbing the next stitch from the front needle purlwise, and now we move onto the back needle and find where this previous stitch is. It is here, you see, not this one which we made, the new row, sort of, we made the new row with knit stitches. Try to find this stitch and knit twice into the next. You can adjust, and you continue like this until the end. You just always work from top to bottom, purlwise into the next stitch from the front needle, and move to the back, top to bottom, and knit twice from the back needle. And this is how it looks. now we are just a few stitches from the finishing line. Normally the last stitches, if I just drop them off, they will not be lost anywhere. Now I show the last stitches. Now and the last, you just go back into the front needle stitch purlwise, and there you go. Back it looks as normal garter stitch.